Yo YouTube, King Games here, and welcome back to Skyrim, where we're currently playing an alternate start mod by Scrabulor, where Skyrim is overrun by dragons and their armies of undead. We're playing on Legendary difficulty and started at level 1. We got lucky last episode and escaped our first dragon encounter. Now we're at level 3 and looking to gain more experience so we can actually handle Alduin's forces. Please don't forget to leave a like and comment, subscribe if you're new. Let's get back to the apocalypse. Guys, I done goofed. I recorded this 40-something minutes of gameplay, and my mic was off the whole time. So, I'm going to just watch it back and do a voiceover. It's been a couple of days, and also to make it fun for me, I'm going to drink. So, if I haven't already mentioned, or if you can't see it when you're looking this stuff up, this channel's not for kids, so I can do that. But anyway, I'm pretty sure what I'm doing here is I'm on my way back to Imbershard Mine, so I can use the Leveler's Home spell to mark the location. That way I can teleport back here and use the forge and the beds if I need to. So you'll see me do that in a sec. Other than that, I think it's just Bleak Falls Barrow. So you go to markers, set marker, and yeah, 8. You have 8 that you can use. Right, one of the reasons I love that spell and that mod so much. I believe you can get another spell from the tower that lets... There's a door on the inside of it, and I think you can make a location to transport to that door specifically. But you can also just teleport back there, so I don't know. Seems a bit redundant. Caught a fish. Would have been nice to get a few more, but I don't want to spend too much time on it here. At least that's what I think I was thinking. I am going to try and do these in one shot, just because, you know, with the whole only getting one respawn thing. Just want to be as transparent as I can. I think the only thing I've cut so far is when I've been chopping wood. Alright, so up ahead here, there's normally a couple of bandits, which, even on Legendary at this point, shouldn't be too much trouble, but I believe this mod is to blame. There are 1 to 2 more characters in addition to those bandits. I believe they're called Marauders, and they are much stronger bandits. So in all of my testing, it takes quite a bit to kill them, meaning like followers and additional spells and things that I don't have right now, or I haven't allowed for this playthrough. So I'm just going to sneak on by here and almost fall off the cliff in the process, I see. But these are those types of bandits that don't seem to aggro on you until you get close enough. So that's for the best. But yeah, it would probably be something like 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes of summoning familiars to kill them. And I think the Marauders themselves can actually one-shot me. So not going to mess with that. I don't have anything to prove. I've been playing Skyrim since 2011, so how long have you all been playing? Alright, I think there's 3 bandits up ahead. Summon some... Oh, am I going to fox skin already? Alright, not a bad idea with the cold. I should have the Leveler's Control weather spell. Do I think about it yet? Or do I see it? Alright, yeah. I should use that. Go for clear. You can set the aurora, which is kind of cool, but not what I'm thinking about here. Pretty sure there's always 3 bandits up here. Summons make this pretty tolerable. Although I think these enemies should still be leveled. Oak flesh, yep. Not wearing a whole lot of armor, and what I do have is light, so I like to be able to move. See, this is another reason I prefer summons to followers, is you don't really have to worry about hitting them with your spells. And I know there is a black book that you can get in Soulstime where during combat, your followers are not supposed to take damage. I'm about to die here from your spells, but you know, as we all know, Skyrim is not a perfect glitchless game, so I don't like relying on that. And I do tend to prefer AoE spells like Chain Lightning, so. And still a lack of gold, but you may as well check. I'm gonna save it up to go get some spells from Electra at some point, back in the cheat room. It's about the only place I could summon her where she won't leave. I think if I summon her in the open world, she'll try and walk back to Dragon's Reach. And you guys just wait till we get there. It might be a bit of a problem to let her try and make it. But then again, hell, she might do a lot of damage on the way. She's a really strong follower. Alright, what do we... Oh, just going straight for summons. Because they're OP. But only 2 in this room. Oh, checking for loot. Oh, we'll take the lockpick, I think. Skeevers are gonna have skeever tails, which I'm not really doing out. So it wouldn't be bad. Like, I know it's pretty simple to get. I think it's one of the mountain flowers and then wheat to make a potion that does both fortify health and regain health or restore health. But I don't know. I don't think it's worth the trouble. We'll just go magic and weapons. See? We're doing just fine here. As long as we have summons to do the work. Wait till we get something stronger than a familiar. Right? Just like a flame atronach. The next step up. A modded summon would be nice too. And I believe it's the Fenderix mod that adds a few spells that give you a few choices. Oh, alright. Stabbing the air there. She died to a ghost blade. That's cool. I'm not sure why I'm taking the arrows here. I'm not going to use them. I might use a crossbow, but I think by the time I get a hold of one, my other skills would be so far ahead of it that it's not going to keep up in damage. I think in a playthrough like this, or a game like this, you really need to be sneak with ranged weapons. And you need to do that your whole way through. Trying to get another skill to catch up later is probably going to be a no-go. Except for the fact that the unleveled Draugr, I believe what's going to happen is at some point I'm going to catch up to them. Because if they're unleveled, they shouldn't keep leveling with me, right? So on that, in that aspect, once I can, you know, clear out a town, I think that should be pretty easy to do for the rest of them. So it seems like it's going to be kind of a threshold, you know, that I'll reach, and then everything will be pretty easy from there. But in my testing, I only went so far into the story. I think I cleared like 2 towns. So, just to see how that works. And it's a pretty simple process. You just fight a bunch of undead and get a bunch of loot. At least so far. Maybe they got something planned for later. Alright, we're going to let this bandit kill himself. Because that's what happens if you let him pull the trigger. Or pull the lever. Because he didn't even try to solve it. Alright, just to get the last hit, I suppose. I think the idea was to try and get some destruction experience there. It's a bit harder to level that up than some of the other skills. Right, and anybody who's been playing Skyrim for as long as I have doesn't have to look at anything to remember this one. Most of us can probably do this whole dungeon without looking anything up. These guys are not suited for this task at all. Fucking everything else, they're fine. A couple of rats, it's like they don't know what to do. I mean, I guess worst case scenario is if the rats did make it up the stairs, I'd have them to take the aggro for me. But look at that one, just leaving the room entirely. Oh, alright, that's smart. It's legendary after all. Even rats can probably fuck us up. If I can hit them at all, like, alright, 1, 2, 3 hits? Alright. I wonder, you know, I probably should have looked it up, but then again, I've never actually used it before. That TK dodge mod on PC, I wonder if something like that's available on console. Right, it's just using the 5 times jumps for that feels really cheesy. But it is one of the few tools I have, so. I think I can get a spell that might help with that a little bit later. But we need some more gold. Alright, a spider is no joke here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and recast these so they don't expire in combat. I don't know if I've said it before, but Conjuration will probably be the first skill we max out. But then again, I am getting exponentially more summons per battle on average than I would in a vanilla playthrough. You know, and I think one of the keys in this playthrough working out probably is the set of robes, just for the magicka regeneration. Because trying with the iron armor the mod starts you with in my tests, a lot of the time what would happen is the summons would start to die or expire in mid-combat, and I wouldn't have enough mana left to cast anymore. So once you start getting attacked by 2 or 3 enemies at once on this difficulty, especially at these low levels, you know, it's pretty much lights out. I think I'm taking this linen wrap, intending to use it either for crafting armor or using it in, I think you can use it to start fires with campfire. So that's going to be useful for not only keeping us warm, but giving us a bed to sleep in so that we can use, you know, spend our perk points and level up. I believe we'll also have a way to make the sage crafting table at some point to create some of those belt-worn tomes, including the enchanted versions that'll increase our spell magnitude at some point. So I think that'll just be another part of that threshold we'll hit where this game just gets easier, but I feel like that's true for most playthroughs. Once you get properly set up and have your character built, you're golden. It's going to be harder to do here because I can't just go to cities and buy stuff, right? Not without clearing out the fucking army first. Right, and I'm really not sure why. I don't have any footage to go back and look at on any of my test runs to compare the amount of damage the summons are doing here, but you know, to what they were doing in my test runs. Because I really feel like they're doing more damage. I don't feel like I could have relied on them to get kills at all. So I don't know. Maybe I changed something in the load order and just clicked over for them. But the Skyrim Wolves mod, 4K or whatever it's called, it should be in the description of the first video. The wolves should level with me indefinitely, and because they seem to use the same skin, I'm wondering if that actually applies to the Conjure Familiar spell or not. I don't really know how it works. Oh, okay, yeah, get past that trap before the wolves inevitably activate it. I'm used to that Draugr waking up more, right? I really feel like I have to get in there and do stuff to it, but I'm not wanting to skip it, I think is what my thinking here, especially with that trap ahead. I don't want this in you know, behind me. Oh, I'll have to take that damage on this difficulty. Oh, and this is where I get worried that I'm gonna start getting hit, but we get out of it. So for now, the familiars are short enough to where I can more or less aim spells over them, but that's not going to be the case once I get other things later on. Which honestly, another couple of dungeons, I think once I have about 2,000 or 3,000 gold, I'll get a good chunk of spells that I need from Electra. Some of them, I don't know, maybe you'll think they're OP, but I feel like they're must-haves on any playthrough, so I'm going to get them. Just don't get to start with them this time, man. I almost die here, or at least that's what I think. I don't want to not be an adventurer anymore, you know. Gotta protect those knees. I don't know why I took the bone mill there. But how much? I don't even see. I don't remember how much gold they're worth, but not a lot. Right. So here's another thing. I think I need a new controller because the left bumper on this one, and you have to hit it just right. So I feel like I'm not gonna make it. Yep, I'm gonna take at least one hit. I don't know. Maybe I was fucked either way, but a good thing it didn't kill me. I don't want to go too far ahead and have this spell wake up something. But yeah, you can see the legs on that Draugr ahead. What am I checking? Yeah, checking the difficulty. Okay. Gotta feel like I gotta do that frequently because a lot of my test runs just felt so much harder. Yeah, guys, like so much harder. Yeah, you know what? You try it. Keep up that oak flesh. We won't have to worry about oak flesh so much once we get a certain spell. But it is a good idea for now. Yeah, I don't think hailstone is really any better than sparks. Alright, that worked out perfectly. What the fuck was that? Well, I wasn't drinking then, so who knows? Imagine starting a fire with ice. Jeez. Hey, but at least it's not a follower, right? Getting mad at us and attacking us back. Imagine getting killed by your own follower on Legendary. Probably another good argument for not bringing one. Hey, you know, at least this spell seems to do some splash damage. So, I definitely, I'm obviously hitting my familiars a lot more, but I don't know. At least we're dealing more damage, I think. Feel. I don't think I'd want to see the damage numbers. The health bars already remove a little immersion. It's easier to keep track of who has been dealt damage rather than just having to look at the bar on top and then remembering which one that was. Especially when you're outside. Guys, wait till I actually go inside a town. I think we're probably going to do that. Not this episode, but maybe the next one. I don't think we need to hit level 10 to be able to take a town, but close to it. So I think we're still level 3. That's not going to cut it. Especially since we can only bring 3 summons. I'll probably... Well, I'm not going to say stop at 5, because it'll depend on what other conjuration perks I want to take later. But... Yep. I do not want to get caught without conjure. See, yeah, I might have to take even more points than conjuration, because Ordinator, I believe, adds a, conjure altar thing you can do, where you can create skeletons. Like humanoid enemies will drop bones that you can use to craft into skeletons, and at higher levels you can even get skeletal mages. And they're just like permanent followers. Well, they may not be permanent. They might have a duration on them, but they don't quite act like summons, and you don't seem to be able to get them to wait anywhere. Like they're just gonna follow you. But they will teleport to you if you get far enough away, so that can be useful. There's only a couple of followers I've used that do that. I don't know why I didn't peek down the waterfall there. It usually seems to be the way to go. Especially with the summons. Hey, it's just an early level dungeon, and why is the spell blowing up on me? Especially if the first one hit. Kill moves are very nice. I don't know how worried I should be about upgrading my weapon either. Oh, Did I do that on purpose? It didn't look like it. But you never know. You never know what I could have been thinking. I don't even know what I could have been thinking. It worked out, didn't it? There I am again. Okay, maybe I thought I would use them. But I know now that those arrows are not going to do even as much damage as a sword swing for me. Well, I don't know. Maybe I could play shots more accurately. Well, then again, I tend to use my spells in third person. Just because it looks cooler rather than using first person. But it's also a controller. And I've been kind of a PC player for so many years at this point. Not that I was ever like very accurate to begin with, but doing it on a controller, it's not my thing, guys. So we let the summons do the work. Restless Draugr. But these enemies I think are leveled as well. You know, I wonder if I can find out some information on like what level the unleveled Draugr are leveled to, if that makes any sense. To find out how far behind you start from the beginning, and at what point do you actually catch up. Ugh. I preferred the Oblivion one, to be honest. The Oblivion lockpick minigame. That one, it felt like you could figure, like there was, it wasn't quite a sound that you listened for. It was more like you would, and only the people who played it and remember how the mechanic worked are even going to be able to visualize this, but when you were like tapping the tumbler or whatever it's called up, you would wait for like the speed at which it would stick, and then you would know you could lock it in place, if that makes any sense. Or this one is so much hard to figure out from the beginning. So, but in Oblivion, once you understood how it worked, even with any brand new character at level 1, you were going to be able to pick even master level locks from the beginning of the game. So you can't. I guess I don't know. Maybe they figured that out and didn't like it, and that's why they changed it. But that is why I liked it. And I take a shit. Oh, look at that damage. I don't know why I'm turning it off. Well, maybe I'll need to run away. Oh, and that guy almost kills me. Do I have potions left? Probably just a few. Yeah, okay, no, plenty. At least I'm not... There are mods I've heard of that will change potions to not happen instantly, but they'll do their healing over time. Glad I'm not using one of those here, because I probably would have died there. And with my dragon killing rule, I'd rather get to a point where I can at least take on a dragon before I'm willing to just take a death like that. Okay. That's another arrow I just heard. They'll probably deal with it. No? I jumped down. Okay. Oh, and then hit my own familiar. Hey, but I get the kill boost, so it's all good. Any gold? No. I'm still taking the bone meal. Alright, well. I guess I'm thinking I'll sell it. I'll get enough for it to be worth a few gold. I'm not going to bog down my inventory, though, with every weapon I come across. More bone meal and 11 gold. Alright, what? Are we're about at the room. Or is there another loading screen in between? No. Alright. So this mod takes away the, not only the claws. Oh, yeah, I didn't even talk about it. There was no Arvel to cut down and no golden claw because all the claw doors have been removed for this mod. I'm not really sure why. But whatever. Seems like they could have left it in. Like, in Embershard Mine, you know, the bandits' dialogue didn't really seem... They didn't seem to contradict anything in this mod one way or the other, so... And I'm probably more worried about the Death Lord than I should be. It's a Draugr Death Lord that's going to come out of the coffin, I believe. Oh, spoiler alert if you haven't played this game for a decade. But I've already forgot what I was saying. I'll blame it on the alcohol then. Oh, I think I was more worried about him than I should have been because it's a leveled Draugr Overlord. Not an unleveled regular Draugr with 10 of his buddies and a dragon. It's still taking a lot more to get him down though. I should have popped over to the higher ground on the right there and used my sparks. Well, I kind of think about that here. Oh, or am I just going to get behind it? Yep, I'm just going to get behind him and start swinging. And hope I don't take a hit. You really don't want to get hit by two-handed weapons on Legendary, guys. It's really a bad time. You know, in a normal playthrough, I rarely use stamina. So, to me, that explains why I let it get so low here, as far as not eating food. And I believe I took that because it's magic. Am I... Yeah, I was choosing to move slower there. Oh, thank goodness. Because you know what didn't happen there, guys? A new hand did not touch the beacon. However, for this mod in particular, that actually may be handy later down the line. I want to say it's going to happen around level 10, but it's going to be a different dungeon from this one. Oh, so close. Does anybody else use like the, I don't know if you can see kind of toward the left, like there's, how do I explain it? That brownish color around the lock itself? There's different little specks of color in there. Does anybody else use those to line up their pick? To remember where to turn it to if you break one? That's how I do it anyway. Bonus chests, if you guys didn't know where these were. Not that it's a lot of loot, especially at this level. Man, I want to say it's the Ethereus Magic mod that adds a few chests to... oh, well, maybe it's not this cave. Now that I think about it, or dungeon or whatever. There's a mod that adds chests to some of the College of Winterhold questline locations that give you some bonus loot, including a special gem that's worth a hell of a lot more than like any vanilla gem. I wonder if I should have kept it on just for a little additional loot here, but then again, you know, I really only have one place I sell it, one place I can sell it until I unlock Solstheim. I tried to use a mod that added merchants in one of my tests, but it didn't seem to work. Like merchants that would just roam the roads. Oh, what? Son of a bitch. Well, I think I start running here, because I feel like that dragon's scripted, because it seems to always be there when you exit this cave. At least in my test runs, but that's bullshit. Like, this is supposed to be an early cave. But, you know, look, it's my choice to play on Legendary, guys, without a whole bunch of other overpowered things, so there's a lot you could do to have killed that dragon by now in a normal playthrough, but I do want it to be at least a little bit of a challenge, so I think I'm summoning some familiars here, hoping they'll take the aggro so I can get the fuck away from the dragon. Especially since I'm not using, you know, ranged weapons. My spells aren't gonna do shit. Oh my god. Oh, that does so much damage. I may have to do something to give me some potions. What I know about in the Leveler's Tower, there's that one generic merchant. I think she sells like some basic weapons. I believe we looked at her inventory in last episode. I'm not 100% sure. But I think there's also like a tavern keeper type. Oof. Alright, I barely took anything from that one. Alright, there's some enemies far away that have aggroed onto us, but I don't remember passing them, so I don't know what they actually are. I'm out of stamina, so I can't move very fast. Alright, do I just go into the mine, since it doesn't look like I'm being followed by a horde? I don't remember how long it takes for enemies to respawn in game. It shouldn't happen to the Draugr put in by the mod or the dragons, but I think it'll still happen for all the other enemies and wild creatures and such. Alright, looks like there's only one blip and it's probably the dragon. So I'm probably not being followed. Probably battle music seems to be subsiding. And I'm hidden. Alright. This is the tensest moment in times like this. Enemies seem to have not respawned, which is good. There's still a body there. Alright, no blips. Everything looks good. I can sleep. Oh, I've got some levels that I can spend. Magicka's a priority. Stamina's helpful, because we can't run very far or fast. Right, where do I put them? Destruction, okay, fair enough. A little bit more damage and use a little less mana so I can have some left over to summon things. Alteration, am I thinking to dual cast Oak Flesh or maybe one of those like spells that are going to help me in the cold? And I think I decide to go out the other exit in case the dragon's hanging out near the other one. I think that's what I'm doing here. Most likely. I would know, right? Don't really have materials I can use to make much in the forge, so that's not super useful yet. I don't know, maybe you guys should put in the comments if you think it's fair for me to use the Leveler's Tower characters to buy stuff from. Because I only know of 2 merchants, right? So it's not a whole lot. It's not like I can just go from town to town. I never really use the, where you can like either hit them or kill them and, you know, like do a quick save and reset, that kind of thing. Just to reset their inventories. But, one of them, I think a general merchant might have a few crafting supplies so we can get our smithing up a bit. To be able to fortify our gear, since we don't have a whole lot to begin with. But then again, I could just wait until I get to Windhelm. Maybe make that a priority. And once I clear that out, supposedly Galland is still available to take you to Solstheim. Oh, okay, I think I just changed the Leveler's Home spell for the secondary entrance. Just because it's a little more off the beaten path. Or it's closer to the forge, and there are some beds pretty close to the forge, so that's probably a good play. Wolves nearby. I don't think I want to engage. Especially now that I just leveled up, so they'll be stronger. Oh, can see you from a distance. That health bar might have just saved my life. Or do I just start shit anyway? Yep, looks like I'm starting shit anyway. Well, XP. XP never killed anyone, right? It's a good thing. And all 3 blips are up, so stealth mode is worth nothing here. Oh. Stand up. Oak Flesh for a stray hit that I hope not to take. Double sparks. Alright, that's a change. Go ahead and burn through all my mana, why not? Oh, bold of me. Oh, bold of me to get on the ground. And oh, and all my summons are dead, so that was dumb. Look at me panicking. Jumping, because it's the only thing I can do. Abusing the terrain. Ah, but I did just change, or take that destruction first. So my spells are costing a little less mana, right? God, they take no fucking damage, it seems. What a pain. Pain in my ass. Alright, so we made it to level 6. Take a little mana potion there. A couple of them. Why? So I can do more sparks or Hellstone. Yeah, sparks doesn't have the range. Get back over here so I can kill ya. Not what I meant to do. Certainly not a second time. Do I have another one over there? No, that looks like a little, oh no. Oh, maybe it was a familiar. But I think I summoned them again to draw them back in. Right at my familiar. And a second time. Oh, I don't know. It might have been me. Oh, was that a flash of the dragon? Maybe. But I don't think I saw it when I was doing all this. I was focused on the wolves. Right, they're all three still alive, too. Oh, why did I download this mod? I know why I downloaded it. It's because the vanilla wolves are ugly. That's why. Like, they look mangy. Oh, wow, boldened me. And then I think I give that up pretty quick. Yep. Ugh, pathetic. God, but all three of them are still alive after all of that. How many familiars have they gone through? God, I got nothing left. Oh, okay, paralysis poison. I think that comes in clutch here. I don't know if I take any more damage before I get to use it. Oh! Nice. Alright, so that's one guy out of my hair for a little bit. Oh, alright, gotta jump to get away from the others. Oh, jumping right into that one's mouth. Alright, they don't seem to be able to get up there. God, like wolves, bro. One of the weakest enemies in Skyrim, and look how long it's taking. Some of them are almost dead now, so I think I'm about ready to get down here and actually start swinging. I say that, but it doesn't take much to die. Yeah, I'm trying to fuck around and find out here, but it's running away, so that's a good sign. And the blip disappeared, so I think that's it. Alright, take the pelts, because they'll be useful for leather. And I think I'm going to go right back inside and use that level up I just got. Right? I think that's what I'm doing. Where the heck is the... I don't know. I don't even... I feel like I should have used the other entrance. But then again, the main one, the bed might be closer to the entrance than going the other way. Maybe. I don't know for sure. And I don't know, maybe I'd have to, I should have been paying attention to it this time. I could have swore I took those torches when I came down here the first time. I could have swore. So I don't know. Maybe there's a glitch for free torches. Did I go Magicka? No, I go Stamina. Really? Okay, well, not gonna hate on it. Out and back in for the extra points. And what do I spend them on now? Do I finally go over to maybe armor and weapon stuff? One-handed. Seems like a good choice. Been swinging a weapon a lot. Alright, go specifically for swords, because that's what I use. Alright, what else? One more point left. Is it going to be light armor? For the few pieces I've got? No? Sneak. Alright, it's going to be light armor. Okay. What then? Oh, I'm eating apples, leeks, all the stuff worth about 18. Just a bunch of that, and I can save. I don't know if I had anything cooked on me. Wasn't looking for it there. And I don't think I meant to do that there, but I finally activated that trap, so... Oh well. don't think I would have been able to do anything with it later anyway, so whatever. Alright, I think I'm worried about that dragon being out here, but if it didn't come at me just then, I mean, would it come at me at all? Alright, I think I got a teleporting bee or an invisible bee, but bees usually mean beehives, right? But I can see the recording here is just about done, guys, so I'm gonna say the episode's about over. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. I sure had fun. Look at me struggling to get a goddamn beehive, and all I had to do was walk up to it a little bit and knock it down in the process. And I can hear the dragon. Can't do anything with it. Alright, but I think I'm going to go all the way up until the end of the recording here. Gotta walk to the edge. Yep, there's the dragon. Just hovering around the exit over there. And here I'm saving the game. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next episode.